Hello, my name's Robert Hazle and I'm from the Noël Coward Foundation. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can be a playwright just like Noël Coward. That's this guy. If you haven't already watched the videos on how to make a puppet or how to make your own set, then go and do those first and then come back here. Have you done that? Great. Now, since this is the Guildhall Art Gallery, I'm going to take you on a very special tour of my very own gallery of ideas. Let's go. Now the first stop on our tour is this, and it's a game called Introduce Your Spoon. The rules are very simple. All you have to do is take an inanimate object like this spoon. You need to look very seriously, no smiling, and you have to say the following words. Hello, this is my spoon and his name is Bob. Can you do that? Can you say, hello, this is my spoon and his name is Bob? Or if you have something else, you could say, hello, this is my ruler and his name is Bob. Or, hello, this is my pencil and his name is Bob. Try that now. Pause the video and then come back if you can manage it. How did you do? Did you manage it? Did you manage to keep a very straight face and look very serious? Or did you make the other person laugh? Or did you laugh yourself? I know it's very easy to make yourself giggle by saying Bob. I'll tell you why we did that later. But our next stop on the tour is this. It's Noël Coward. Now, as well as many other things, he was also known as a wit. But what is a wit, I hear you ask? Or I would do, if I was in the room with you. Well, a wit is someone who uses words in a clever and funny way. And that's something Noël Coward did a lot. In fact, he said so many things that people want to remember that they've even written books about them. They've collected the letters he wrote to people, the diary he kept, and there's even a book called The Wit of Noël Coward that is just full of the funny things he said. Here's one of them. Try reading it out. See if you can make someone smile. Did it work? This one's another one that people like. Try this one as well. Now this one's my favourite. Never trust a man with short legs. His brain's too near his bottom. Now, it's over to you. Your challenge is to write a 60-second script to entertain your audience. If you've done the puppetry making or the set making videos, you can use those to help you. Or if not, just carry straight on. How are you going to entertain your audience? Are you going to make your story dramatic? Are you going to make it musical? Are you going to make it a comedy? Now, Coward liked to write comedies. Let me give you some ideas. Here are my top 3 techniques for making an audience laugh. The first one is slapstick. A really good example of slapstick is when a character walks along the road and slips on a banana skin. Audiences love that. Another example is misunderstandings. So you could, for example, have a character go to the doctors and talk about how horrible his injury to his leg is, that it's almost falling off, and then realise that he's not talking to the doctor at all. He's talking to someone in the waiting room who's just a window cleaner. And the third example of something that audiences like is knowing something that a character doesn't know. For example, the he's behind you scene in pantomime. Have you ever been to a pantomime? In that scene, a character is looking for somebody, or a ghost, or a monster, and they don't realise that the monster is behind him all the time. If you want to write out your script, or type it out, here's an example of how you can lay out your script. You might want to pause the video so you can read the notes I've put. But essentially, you put the character's name on the left, followed by the line they say. And in between those lines, you can describe what the characters do or what else happens in the scene. Now you've written your scene, it's time to rehearse it and learn those lines. While you're rehearsing, I've got some ideas here to help you on the next step of our tour. You could try bringing the curtain up and bringing it back down again. That would make it look like a theatre. You could try lots of different voices or sound effects or anything really. Just the most important thing is whatever you do to keep a straight face, even if the audience you're performing to thinks it's the funniest thing they've ever seen. Do you remember that introduce your spoon game we played at the beginning of the video? Well, you need to try and use that as practice. Noël Coward used to act in his plays as well as write them and direct them. So he had some really good advice for people acting on stage. He said, "The only advice I ever give to actors is to learn to speak clearly, to project your voice without shouting, and to move about the stage gracefully without bumping into people." And I think that's some really good advice for you too. Well, that brings us to the end of this tour, and I hope I've given you some ideas of how to write and rehearse and perform a script. Whatever story you're telling, try to have fun. And the only thing left for me to say is that old theatre saying that means good luck. Break a leg.